Let's go catch some bass. What do you think? See what I'm talking about? Come on. All right, getting ready to head out. Easter morning, about 4:30 in the morning. A lot of fog in the area. Have to take it real easy going down Interstate 64. That's okay. Got my LED lights on. Just wrote a note. Gone fishing. So we not only have a pretty foggy morning going on, but I see some rain coming in. It's the way it goes. Hey, if you expect to be gone fishing, you gotta go when you go. The lonesome song of the lonesome highway. Wow, pulling up within minutes. I hear wild turkeys, a lot of frogs, barred owls, all kind of birds. Wow. All right. I say I get the Selvin ready to go. Ooh, gonna be a good day. May not catch any fish, but it's gonna be a good day. I hear you, boys. Keep going. I ain't messing with you. I'm trying to get over here to the Selvin. That's right. You guys have a good day. I got a feeling you're gonna be squawking all day at people coming up. Hello, Rick and Ball House. Happy Easter to you. Storms look like they have passed for now. Looks pretty calm out here. I see some fish hitting on top of the water. You know what? Let's go get some bass. All right, made it out on the water. I'm surprised I'm the only one out here. But you know what? It is Easter morning. So I would think that probably a lot of people might be going to church first before they come out and do some fishing. And there's a good chance of rain for another 2 hours. So far so good, but kind of see it looks a little dark over here. That's the way the rain would be coming in, right there from the west. All the way to the dam and work my way back down. Easter morning, and it's like my brother Michael always says. He always writes me first thing, right now. He has risen. Right on, brother. Right on. Couldn't ask for a better morning. This is just like perfect. Nice and cool. No rain yet. Only one out here. Woo. Thank you, Lord. frogs are rejoicing. Easter morning, singing glory. Yeah, you know, everything reaches a certain age where, you know, it comes down to it's got to be retired. Yep. So, unfortunately, the hat, it is time. Yep. I've had this hat right here for a dozen years. And I have worn it probably every day for a dozen years. You probably can't read it anymore, but underneath the skull it said an American icon. I always liked this hat. But you know what? It's got holes in it now. Even driving my mom around in the 2004 Pontiac, Montana the other day, she says, "Lawrence." She doesn't call me Mr. Lawrence. She says, "Lawrence, you need a new hat. I'm going to give you some money for your birthday for a new hat." I guess I'm going to retire it. I'll hang it up in the office. I'll write on it the date that it was retired. I actually got it in Las Vegas at the biggest gun show in the world. I was there purchasing firearms for a shop I was working for. And I got it back then. So there you go. A lot of you that follow the channel, you recognize this hat. I mean, I've worn almost 90% of my videos, but the time comes. But I have another announcement to make. Yeah. Out with the old, in with the new. Say hello to Mr. Lawrence's new hat. Bass Hunter. Not done with it yet. I'm going to write on it Bass Hunter on this side and maybe Mr. Lawrence or something on this side. But what do you think? That's it. That's the new one. That's the one that'll carry LAF Space Film Fest into the future. I kind of like it. It's kind of hard to find. I went everywhere in town. Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods, places like that. Nothing. Generic, nothing. Got online, spent I don't know how many hours online looking. Even found some sites where I could actually create my own hat. That was great. I finally got to the point where I got one all worked out. Went to check out. Minimum 12. So I thought, no, I'm not going to buy 12 of them. So I kept looking. Actually ended up getting this one online. Looks pretty good. Great day of fishing. Easter morning. To the believers, the Lord has risen. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm going to get some things set up. We're going to get the bass hunting. Okay, lakes go through a lot of changes. Every time I show up, I notice something different. This is what I'm noticing today. You know, everything's pollinating. All the flowers are coming out. The pine trees. I have big white pine trees at home. And oh my gosh, when the wind blows, sometimes it looks like they're just smoking a yellow cigarette. Like smoke just flies out of them. But I bet that's what that is. And it's all gathered up here. Would be the winds. Lately have come from the north, northeast, and got it all blown up here in this southwest corner of the lake. You can't imagine how much I enjoy being out here. I know it's a fishing trip, but right now, I have thought very little about fish since I've been out here. To me, as a photographer, you know, it's all about the scenery and the surroundings and things like that. It is just an absolutely gorgeous day out here. Yeah, I could just tell watching the weather forecast today was going to be a good day. I thought it looked to me like it was going to rain, at least a couple hours this morning once I got here, but that looks like that's all cleared out. You know, it may still rain, but I've got a rain suit. I've got the bimini top. I'm good to go. Get my net undone. Get the selvin a little bit organized. I've been sitting here now for about, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Probably have settled in pretty good. I like to do this before I actually throw the first line in. I'm just going to work this bank all the way down to that point down there. All right. Very important. You gotta remember to always clean my lenses. Sometimes I'm not good about that. I come out here and I get the filming so fast that I always gotta remember. I should probably do it back at the cabin before I leave. That'd probably be better. Alright. That looks pretty good. But the reason why you always want to wear glasses, and I learned this from David Peters. David Peters is a real good friend of me and my son. You can check out the video where we drove to Utah and David actually guided us down the Green River, fished for trout, rainbow, and browns. What a great trip. Highly recommend you check that video out. It's so cool. But David was the one that taught me right then and there. And in fact, he would not even allow us on his boat unless you had glasses. Because like he said, all it takes is one hook in the eye, you're in real trouble. So remember that. Always wear some kind of glasses when you go out and fish. Real important. Don't want to lose your eyesight. Man, there's way too much beauty on this planet to lose an eye, for sure. And I pulled around the corner coming off Highway 37, and I saw the light was on in the guard stand already. So I pulled up there, sure enough, it was Lonnie. Lonnie takes good care of Indian-Celina Lake, the recreational property here. He really does. You always have to pay. There's an entrance fee to get in. It's been $5 for as long as I can ever remember. Well, went to pay. I gave Lonnie $5. He said, that's not going to quite cover it. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, they've raised the rates. There's a new company now that is kind of taking care of subcontracting out the maintenance and things like that of Indian-Celina Lake, and they've raised the prices to $8 now. I think we're all kind of aware about everything is going up in price these days, it seems like. I try not to complain about stuff like that because I understand it's expensive to run things. It's expensive if you want good folks, running your business, here. It takes money to do that. I just hope Lonnie and Jean and Julie, I hope all of them, the camp hosts, I hope everybody has gotten a raise. I hope they're getting paid well. I don't know if they're getting paid well or not, but I hope they're getting paid better. If they're going to raise the prices like that, I hope their salary goes up a little bit. Setting up this is my dash cam. This is what you'll see when you watch the videos. If I catch a big bass, you'll notice I have a lot of different angles. This is one of them right here. This is the dash cam. And I came across these, and I don't have any idea when I bought these. Check out those dudes. Got a nice hook on them. And they've got a weight inside the bait itself. I got a feeling that's a pretty cool, I bet that little tail kind of swims. I guess you just let it come down and then bring it up. Kind of the same way as I fish these Zoom creatures. Like I think this one right here would do pretty good right here. I have no idea where I bought them. Check out the eyeballs on that guy. He's got the buggy eyeballs, don't he? Found these too. These are power baits. But that's pretty cool right there too. Got a nice swim tail on him. Once again, he's got a weight inside there. So, you know, when I throw it, it's going to go down. Probably I could land it on the bottom and swim it up if I want to. Or just keep it down like that and let it swim across. I guess this would probably be for like muddy water. But there's one with a little orange tail on him and then a chartreuse head on him right there. That's pretty cool too. I think what's real important is that when you have a fishing boat like this, that you get it real organized. Last thing in the world, you know, you want to catch a fish, something's going on, and you got stuff around that's going to trip you and cause you maybe to fall in or something. I tell you what, the temperature out here is dropping. It's definitely cooler right now than it was 30 minutes ago. Air is kind of looks like it's getting a little bit foggy out there. Might have some rain coming in. Glad I brought my rain suit for sure. I've been pretty happy with my new Lew's ultralight reel and Lew's rod, 7-foot spinning rod. The only question I have, and this is for you anglers out there that would know this, the first time I put the line on, I screwed it up. It just got it all twisted and everything. I bought me a tool, the ultimate tool to put line on your reel, and I used it and it worked great. But I noticed after a day or two of fishing, my line is getting twisted again. And I'm using these creatures, like this Zoom creature right here. I'm using it so it doesn't really spin when it goes through the water. So I don't know why I'm getting that line twist. But over the weekend, I ended up taking off, well, about half of the spool that I had on here because it just started getting twisted. I got to the point where it's not twisted anymore, so I cut it off. But the problem is, and I know line isn't like enormously expensive. You know, the line I have on here is Seagar Low Vis. So it's like, man, you know, it's like $20-something a box. But if you know why I'm getting such a line twist in this, let me know. Now, you know, I was asking about that line twist. Now, this old Samurai that I have right here, this one doesn't seem to do it. I've cast it just as many times, and it doesn't seem to be getting all tangled up. Could it be the loose spinning reels doing that? I don't know. It seems funny. They both have the same kind of line on it. I don't know. Kind of weird. Man, what a gorgeous morning. There's no way you could order a better morning like this. It is just perfect out here. Okay, so I'm throwing the green pumpkin creature. If I don't get any hits here shortly, I'm going to go ahead and change to the blue sapphire. Looky there. Well, son of a gun. Well, look what I caught now. Very unusual. Is that a small spotted bass? Small spotted bass? I think it is. I believe it is. All right, so there you go. That's the first one I've caught in Celina Lake. That's pretty cool. All right, buddy, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hey, fish in the boat. Woo! See you later. Oh yeah, that water's much, much warmer. I'd say it's got to be close to the 60s now. That's the first little spotted bass that I have caught on Celina Lake. If that's what it was, I think pretty sure it was a little spotted bass. All right, fishing report. It is about 10:30 in the morning. I just got the one spotted bass in the boat. If that's what it was, a spotted bass, I just got one of them in the boat. I've had a couple hits, but nothing really major. Hard to tell. Seems like the water, the weeds are getting a little bit closer to the surface already. So it's kind of hard to tell whether I'm snagging weeds or I'm actually getting a hit. Hasn't really warmed up much. It feels like it's probably in the 50s, maybe mid 50s or so. A little bit more wind blowing. No rain so far. I've seen one boat out on the water and 2 hikers go by. That is the Two Loops Trail coming out of the forest. Come across the dam. And then it heads on up into the forest on the other side. Right there. Alright, gonna get the black buzz bait with a little trailer behind it. Gonna give it a shot. Alrighty, fishing report. Let's see here. It's right at noon. Only the one fish in the boat, the spotted bass, was the only thing so far. I think I've had a few bites, not many. It has really slowed down. Saw a couple fishermen out here, saw one big boat and 2 kayaks. They all have headed back toward the boat ramp. This part of the lake all to myself right now. Seems like it's absolutely perfect conditions, calm. It's so windy here most of the time. What I'm realizing is when it is calm like this, oh man, this water is so clear. Not a good thing, I don't think, when you're fishing. It's one of the things that Randy Blockett calls gin clear. Water is very hard to fish because those fish, like in this little bay I'm in right now, I mean, I would imagine they can probably see this boat wherever, see me standing there fishing. So, you know, wind is hard to fish in, but it definitely adds camouflage to you. All right, well, I think I'm going to have a little lunch, kind of sit here, relax for a little bit, and then get going again. Just saw a butterfly go by. Saw one the other day. That was the very first one I've seen this year. I got to thinking about that price increase to get into the park. And it's been $5 forever. And now it's $8. That's a pretty big price jump. It's more than 50% price jump. You know what? What really hurts people when it comes to something like that is all the time I come here, if you watch my videos, when I camp, rarely is there a lot of people here. Memorial Day, Labor Day, supposedly next weekend is supposed to be real busy with the eclipse. It seems like the Hoosier National Forest and Indian-celina Lake has always kind of struggled just a little bit to get people here, to bring people in. And I tell you what, there's nothing worse that they could do is to jack up that entrance price to $8. You know, some people, $8 is $8. They don't care. They'll pull up, they'll pay it, go. But, you know, you got a lot of families, you know, in this county and in southern Indiana that don't have a lot of money. You know, just the fact that every time they come here now to fish, it's going to cost them $8. Every time they come here to hike, it's going to cost them $8. I know the money gets put to good use, but I don't know. That just sounds, that sounds like a pretty big increase to me. Now, they didn't raise the camping fees, which is good. So, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope it doesn't stifle, you know, all traffic through here. Frogs are really out. Lots and lots of frogs. Of course, you can just imagine, you know, if you were buried in the mud all winter, man, when you got out, man, that must be a pretty good feeling to be out. Hello, butterfly. Hey, for anybody that hikes, the bluff over here, which is also known as like the swimming hole, that's where a lot of people will go swimming right there. You can see on that bluff right there, there is an excellent campsite. Now, the only way to get to that campsite is you either have to walk the Two Lakes Trail, which would be all along this bluff right here. And that trail comes along there, and it's, I would say, you're probably looking at maybe a 2 to 3 mile hike to get there. I guess you could canoe or kayak in and park your boats maybe right here by the dam. Maybe anchor them right there by the swimming area. I would imagine during prime season it might be hard to get, but then again, all the times I'm out here fishing, I've never seen anybody on that campsite except for the father and son about a month ago. They had brought their canoe and they were up there camping. All right, just finished a nice lunch and it is starting to get warm out here. Woo! It's getting warm, but the wind's starting to blow, so it's kind of counteracting against each other in a way, but it feels pretty good. All right, one fish in the boat so far, multiple bites, lunchtime over. Okay, it's getting into the afternoon, mid-afternoon. Check out that strike right there. Took one of his pinchers off. Okay, well, blue sapphire. So far today, I caught the one on the green pumpkin. I've had several strikes on the green pumpkin. And now the sapphire has taken a big hit. And just like my hat, it's going to have to be retired. It took that hit right on the back of that cove back there. Probably about maybe 10 feet from the shore. Threw it right down the middle. About the second time I lifted it off the bottom. Bam, baby. So something's living back there. And I have seen the water all smoked up in a couple coves like that. You're a one pincher man now. I'm going to put him in my tackle box and throw him away later. A lot of people just toss him, but I don't like that. I'm afraid that one of them big old bass, one of them Indiana state record bass may actually get a hold of it and kill it. Don't want that to happen. I'm glad I brought my bandana today. You know, it's been a while since I've been fishing out here in the open sun like this on a warm day, and I could really feel it on my neck. I need to start wearing my collar shirts again. So I'm going to put a new Zoom speed crawl on there, impregnated with salt. What I'll do is I'll take him and I'm going to rough him up. Now careful, if you're not skilled with the knife, don't do this because you'll end up with your fingers all cut up. And I know what everybody's saying, so that's what happened to your fingers, Mr. Lawrence. You cut them when you were trying to do that to your bait. Nope. Been in construction so long and they dry out, and when I mess with this fishing line and fish all day, boy, they start cracking, so I just realized it's better just to go ahead and cover them up, and that way they don't damage them anymore. Okay. To me, that's a little bit encouraging that you know, I got that big hit like that. Okay, let's see if we can't catch that fish. Maybe he liked that one claw and he wants the rest of it. Well, as fishing days go, it wasn't all that good. Still a good day if you're out fishing. But yeah, caught that one spotted bass, smallmouth bass, I guess. Got a couple monster hits. Usually in the afternoon it picks up a little bit. It's 4 o'clock right now, and I don't really see a lot going on. Go ahead and head on back to the boat ramp. Couldn't have asked for a better day to be out fishing. Man, it was just gorgeous. You can see we got some wind starting to filter in now. And I got to looking at these clouds up here, and I got to thinking, well, I don't know. You can see we got some wind starting to filter in now. I got to looking at these clouds up here, and I got to thinking, well, I don't know. But I did pull the weather forecast up, and it shows no chance until tomorrow. So I guess that's just the precursor of storms to come. Well, I'm glad you came along. It's LAF Space Film Fest, capital LAF Space Film Fest. Hey, if you would, hammer down that subscribe button. I appreciate it. I'll keep coming out here, and I'll keep trying different things. The green pumpkin, the blue sapphire, threw a couple buzz baits. I don't know. Wasn't just not connecting today. You know, as fishermen, we can come up with so many different reasons why we didn't catch fish today. Bottom line is, we didn't throw what the fish wanted. Because I would say if we did, they would have bit it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is a lot of spawning beds right there. What I didn't check is the wind. And the lake now has totally filled in with some pretty strong winds. The next time I might be out will be the eclipse. April 8th, Monday. It's supposed to be a total eclipse here. Next one will be 20 years from now. So my question is, Jesus and your Father, what's the plan now? All the evil, all the disease, all the problems, all the murder, what is your plan? What are we going to do? You know, Christians love to celebrate this day. He has risen. He's here. Roll your sleeves up. Time to get to work. I'll be waiting for my instructions. Dad said that the other day. You should have been a preacher. And Mom chimed in and said, well, I wanted you to be a priest. Well, maybe I missed my calling. I don't know. I think my calling's been to be a YouTube creator. Because I love this job. Even though I only caught one fish out there. One. And one of my blue sapphire creatures got his daggone pincher bit off. I'm still having fun, and I can't wait for the adventure to continue. Last video, when I loaded the selvin all up, the birds were going crazy. I've got a lot of video on the birds. Just the chatter was unreal. Tonight, I don't hardly hear any birds at all. I hear a lot of frogs. So what happened to the birds? To me, that's odd. Unless the wind is canceling them out, unless they're just not hanging around in this area. Oh, and before I get any kind of real bad comments about my talk with Jesus and the Lord, I just like to ask Jesus a question. If he walked up here right now, if I was loading the selvin up and he walked up, he'd say, hello, I'm Jesus. I'd say, Jesus. First I'd ask, how you doing? And then I would ask him, what's the plan? We got to straighten this thing up, man. This world seems to be kind of spinning out of control. We got to straighten things up. What's the plan? No disrespect to anybody, please. I think that's a wrap. Getting ready to go on out on Interstate 64 and head west. You know, talking about my dad, taking care of my dad and mom. I got one other story that Dad always says to me. Right there by the hospital, there's a guy, an elderly gentleman, and apparently his wife passed away in the hospital, and he believes that the hospital had liability. So he stands out there every day. It has these gigantic signs on both sides, and he stands there, and he just shows them to the traffic going by, anybody that'll listen. You know, and you can tell he's just absolutely distraught. Well, the other day we went by there, and I always see him when we're driving down. If we're going to the hospital or we're going to the doctors, I always see him usually before Dad does. And I said, look, there he is. And Dad always says, yep, there he is. And I said, he's out here all day, rain, cold, hot. He really is determined to get the message out. And it's funny because my dad always says, he's going straight up. Like that, and he'll point. The other day he said that. And I said, yep. I said, like a rocket ship. Dad looks at me, looks forward and goes, yep, like a rocket ship. So, hey, if you get the chance to hang out with your elderly parents, definitely do it. You know, if you get the chance to help out, even better. You know, time's going by. You know, things change. So if you have that opportunity, take that opportunity now while you can. He has risen. Happy Easter, everybody. talk to you on the next video. Just look out. Bugs are out. I noticed that today. Wasp and stuff are flying all over the selvage.